The day Earth disappeared from the galactic maps was remembered by every civilization as the day the Dominion ended fear forever. Humanity had fought too fiercely, adapted too quickly, and refused every offer of surrender that demanded obedience instead of freedom. After decades of brutal war, the united alien empires reached a conclusion no one had dared imagine. They would not destroy Earth, they would imprison it. Using an impossible network of ancient quantum anchors discovered beneath the core of a dead star, they folded the entire solar system into a sealed dimensional pocket, a prison beyond normal space. The galaxy celebrated. Humanity, they declared, would spend eternity trapped behind walls no ship, no weapon, and no science could ever cross. Generations passed. Empires rose and collapsed. Species evolved. History books stopped calling humans an enemy and began calling them a myth. Children laughed at bedtime stories about stubborn Earth soldiers who could defeat impossible odds. Museums displayed shattered human helmets as relics of a primitive race. Yet inside the prison, time refused to follow the galaxy's expectations. Cut off from outside politics, greed, and endless wars, humanity transformed. Every failed experiment became a lesson. Every disaster became a stepping stone. Nations that once competed for dominance discovered that survival demanded unity. Artificial intelligences became partners rather than masters. Fusion gave way to singularity reactors. Gravity itself became an engineering material. Diseases vanished. Aging slowed until lifespans stretched for centuries. Instead of asking how to escape, humanity first asked how to understand the prison. Thousands of research stations orbited the dimensional walls. Millions of scientists spent centuries studying the strange mathematics holding reality together. Every generation believed the answer was close, only to discover another layer of impossible complexity. Yet humans possessed one quality the galaxy had always underestimated. They never stopped trying. After nearly 6,000 years inside the prison, a young physicist named Dr. Elena Ward noticed a flaw no supercomputer had recognized. The prison wasn't a cage. It was a machine. It constantly repaired microscopic fractures before they became visible. Most civilizations would have attacked the walls harder. Humans realized the opposite. If the prison healed itself, then healing required energy. If it required energy, then it had limits. Humanity stopped building bigger weapons and began constructing billions of tiny probes that quietly drained microscopic amounts of dimensional power over centuries. Each theft was invisible. Each theft weakened the impossible prison by less than 0.001%. No alarm sounded. No guardian noticed. 600 years later, the prison had become old, tired, and hungry. Then humanity struck, not with violence, but with mathematics. Across the solar system, every reactor activated simultaneously. Every orbital station aligned. Every AI calculated the same impossible equation. The dimensional walls did not explode. They simply forgot they were supposed to exist. Reality unfolded like opening a folded sheet of paper. For the first time in over 6,000 years, sunlight from the true galaxy reached Earth. Humanity had escaped the universe's greatest prison, but the galaxy waiting outside was almost unrecognizable. Entire constellations belonged to new empires. Ancient species had vanished into extinction. Languages had changed beyond recognition. Hyperlanes connected worlds that humans had never heard of. Their first transmission echoed across thousands of systems. "This is Earth. We are free." At first, everyone believed it was a prank. Historians dismissed the signal as an elaborate performance. Then telescopes captured the impossible. Tens of thousands of sleek human vessels emerged from a tear in space where nothing should have existed. Their technology ignored every known law of physics. Ships accelerated without engines. Weapons bent gravity into blades. Shields absorbed starlight itself. Panic spread faster than light. Emergency councils assembled. Military fleets mobilized. The descendants of the Dominion, now calling themselves the Celestial Accord, demanded identification. Earth's answer was calm. "You imprisoned our ancestors. We request peaceful contact," the Accord laughed. No civilization could remain technologically relevant after 6,000 years of isolation. They dispatched a ceremonial fleet to force humanity into submission. The battle lasted 43 seconds. Human ships never fired conventional weapons. Instead, they folded local space, causing every hostile vessel to drift harmlessly into perfectly stable orbits around a nearby moon. Not a single alien died. Every weapon system simply stopped functioning as though reality itself had rejected violence. The galaxy watched in stunned silence. Humanity had defeated an entire fleet without taking a single life. Confusion replaced arrogance. Diplomats begged for negotiations. Scientists demanded access to human technology. Military leaders secretly feared that if humans had wanted revenge, nothing could have stopped them. During the first Galactic Assembly attended by humans in over 6 millennia, representatives expected fury, vengeance, and endless accusations. Instead, Ambassador Elena Ward, now preserved through advanced longevity science, stood before the assembly carrying an ancient object, a piece of broken concrete from Earth's original prison wall. "You believed this cage would end humanity," she said quietly. "Instead, it united us. Every hardship forced us to become better than we were. Every year inside taught us that survival without compassion creates another prison. We escaped because we chose knowledge over hatred." The chamber fell silent. Even the oldest alien leaders could not meet her eyes. Humanity had every reason to destroy them, yet offered peace instead. Then Elena revealed the final truth. The prison machine had not merely trapped Earth. It had also protected the galaxy from something lurking beyond ordinary space. By dismantling it, humanity had awakened ancient entities older than stars, beings that consumed entire dimensions. Sensors across the galaxy confirmed impossible distortions approaching from intergalactic darkness. Civilizations that had spent millennia competing now faced extinction together. Fear spread once again. The same empires that had imprisoned Earth now begged humanity for help. Human engineers smiled with quiet confidence. "We spent 6,000 years learning how prisons work," Elena said. "Now we'll build one strong enough to imprison monsters instead." And for the second time in galactic history, every species watched humanity accomplish the impossible. Not because humans were the strongest, but because no force in existence could imprison the human spirit forever. When the first of the ancient dimensional predators reached the edge of the Milky Way, every prediction made by the Celestial Accord proved disastrously optimistic. Entire star systems did not explode, they simply vanished. Space folded inward like paper consumed by invisible fire, leaving behind perfect spheres of absolute darkness where suns, planets, and civilizations had once existed. Fleets numbering in the millions launched every weapon known to the galaxy, but beams of antimatter, stellar lances, and quantum torpedoes passed harmlessly through the creatures as though reality itself refused to acknowledge them. Panic swept across the stars. Emergency governments collapsed. Refugee convoys stretched across thousands of light years. Then, for the first time in recorded history, every galactic civilization unanimously requested Earth's leadership. Humanity accepted, not as conquerors, but as coordinators. Admiral Sophia Reyes gathered representatives from every surviving species aboard the human flagship Resolve, a vessel larger than moons, yet moving with impossible grace through folded space. Above the command chamber floated a hologram of the advancing horrors. "You cannot destroy something that lives outside your understanding," she explained calmly. "For 6,000 years, our prison forced us to study dimensions beyond normal existence. We didn't escape by breaking the walls, we escaped by learning how reality thinks." Human engineers immediately transformed peaceful megastructures into colossal dimensional anchors, each one capable of reshaping space itself. Billions of workers from hundreds of species labored side by side under human direction. Former enemies shared technology without hesitation. Ancient rivalries disappeared because survival demanded unity. As the first predator entered the Orion Arm, humanity activated Operation Horizon. The stars themselves shifted. Entire constellations rearranged into an enormous geometric lattice, stretching across thousands of light years. The creatures slowed for the first time, confused by a prison unlike anything they had encountered before. Instead of attacking them, humanity offered them a choice. Through mathematics older than language, human AIs communicated directly with the beings, revealing that they too had once been prisoners of an even greater cosmic force billions of years earlier. They had consumed universes not from hatred, but from endless hunger after escaping their own forgotten cage. The revelation stunned every scientist watching the transmission. Humanity had discovered that even monsters possessed a history. Rather than seeking extermination, humans redesigned the prison into something unprecedented. Not a cage of punishment, but a sanctuary where the ancient entities could exist without consuming living galaxies. Slowly, one by one, the colossal beings entered the dimensional sanctuary willingly. The final predator paused before disappearing into the new realm, releasing a pulse of energy that translated into a single message understood by every conscious mind in the galaxy. You are the first to answer fear with understanding. The stars grew quiet once more. Across the Milky Way, billions celebrated not a military victory, but the beginning of a new age. The same humanity that had once been condemned as the galaxy's greatest threat had become its greatest protector. Earth refused every offer to rule the united civilizations. Instead, humans dismantled the last remnants of imperial governments and helped establish the concord of free stars, where every species possessed an equal voice regardless of strength or technology. In the center of the new galactic capital stood the only monument humanity ever requested, a single fragment of Earth's ancient prison wall, engraved with words that became the guiding principle of the entire galaxy. No prison can hold a people who choose hope over despair, knowledge over fear, and unity over vengeance. For millions of years afterward, every child among the stars learned the same lesson. The greatest mistake the galaxy had ever made was turning Earth into a prison world, because in trying to cage humanity, they had forged the civilization that would one day save the universe itself. Centuries after the Concord of Free Stars was founded, peace had become so ordinary that many young civilizations believed war existed only in history archives. Human starships no longer patrolled the galaxy as soldiers. They traveled as explorers, teachers, engineers, and diplomats. Worlds once scarred by invasion now flourished beneath artificial suns designed by human scientists. Entire nebulae had been transformed into living habitats where thousands of species lived together. Yet deep beneath Earth's oldest research facility, hidden beneath the Himalayas, a silent alarm awakened after remaining inactive for over 12,000 years. The signal did not originate from another galaxy or another dimension. It came from somewhere far older, from the center of the universe itself. The message consisted of only 7 words, translated automatically by every human AI. The first builders are returning. Prepare the heirs. The discovery shook humanity more than any invasion ever had. The first builders were not myths. During Earth's imprisonment, fragments of their technology had been found buried inside the dimensional prison itself. Every impossible machine humanity had learned to build, the dimensional anchors, the reality engines, the gravity forges, had been based on incomplete builder designs. Humans had assumed the civilization responsible had vanished billions of years ago. Now they knew the truth. They had never disappeared. They had simply left. Within days, observatories across millions of star systems detected impossible objects emerging from intergalactic darkness. They were not fleets. They were stars shaped into ships, each one surrounding itself with entire solar systems that traveled beside it. The approaching civilization dwarfed anything the Conquered had ever imagined. Their arrival did not bend space, it rewrote it. Galaxies shifted slightly in their orbits merely because the builders passed nearby. Fear returned to the galaxy, but humanity remained calm. Admiral Sophia Reyes, now remembered through generations and succeeded by countless commanders carrying her legacy, gathered the Concord's leaders aboard the flagship Resolve 2. Do not prepare for war, she told them. Prepare for a conversation. When the builders finally arrived, every communication system in existence activated simultaneously. A single figure appeared, not through holograms, but as if reality itself allowed the being to stand everywhere at once. It resembled no known species, its form constantly changing between light, energy, and matter. The ancient being looked directly toward Earth and smiled. So, it said softly, the prison succeeded. Confusion spread throughout the assembly. The builder explained that 12,000 years earlier, they had watched the young galaxy descend into endless conquest. Among all the civilizations, one species possessed extraordinary potential, but lacked unity, humanity. Rather than destroy Earth or elevate it prematurely, the builders secretly inspired the Dominion to construct the dimensional prison using abandoned builder technology. The prison had never been a punishment. It had been the greatest test in cosmic history. Most civilizations, the builder continued, when isolated, consume themselves through fear. Your species chose cooperation instead. You escaped not because you became stronger than the prison, but because you became wiser than the civilization that built it. Then came the revelation that silenced the stars. The universe itself was dying. Not today, not tomorrow, but over the next billion years. The builders had spent eons searching for a civilization capable of inheriting the responsibility of preserving reality after they were gone. Thousands of species had been tested across countless galaxies. Everyone had failed. Only humanity had transformed imprisonment into enlightenment, suffering into innovation, and victory into mercy. The builder bowed before the assembled humans, a gesture so profound that every other civilization instinctively followed. "We did not come to judge you," the ancient being declared. "We came to pass the torch. From this day forward, humanity is no longer merely a species of Earth. You are the guardians of the universe." As billions watched in stunned silence, the builders opened the largest archive ever created. Endless streams of knowledge poured into human quantum intelligences, maps of unborn galaxies, the language of black holes, methods to create stars from pure mathematics, and secrets hidden since the birth of time itself. Humanity accepted the gift with the same humility that had defined its journey since escaping the prison. They did not claim dominion over creation. They accepted responsibility for protecting it. And somewhere beyond the edge of the observable universe, where new realities waited to be born, ancient lights began to shine once more, as if the cosmos itself had been waiting for one small blue world to prove that no prison could ever contain the limitless potential of the human spirit.